Let's talk about the 14 tools and products that you need to clean an interior. Now, we do a lot of interiors here at our business, so this is what we primarily use. And one thing I want to make clear is that don't go and try to purchase all these tools and products that we have. We've accumulated this over time as we get more experience, as we saved up for it possibly. So don't think you need all these. Depending on where you are in your business or the level of service that you're offering, or just even the condition that you're working on, will kind of dictate what you need or what you can use. So don't try to purchase all these. Just look at what we use and either try to buy an alternative to what we use, or just kind of really think and ask, like, do I really need this right now? Do I need to spend the money to purchase this right now? And is it gonna really help me with my interior cleaning? Let's get started. Number one, it's gonna be a vacuum. Pretty straightforward, nothing crazy about this. You don't need to go and purchase a very expensive vacuum. The most popular one that I see that most detailers use is going to be that rigid vacuum that you can buy at Home Depot or Lowe's. You can also purchase the upgraded hose kit. That way you have a longer length and a few other attachments. But this one, nothing crazy about it. In our mobile van, we actually have a Johnny Vac that's $400. But even then, that's overkill. So keep this very simple. You can go on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and just buy a very cheap vacuum. It doesn't need to be a 16-gallon one. Just a basic vacuum is all you need. Number 2 and 3 is going to be an air compressor and then our cleaning gun. Now this one is a bit nuanced because you need the air compressor, well, you need an air hose line, you need the cleaning gun. Depending if this is a mobile setup, well, you'll need a generator to run it and then a big enough generator. You are also gonna probably want it on a hose reel. So there's a lot of other things that kind of go into this one, but the two main things are gonna be the air compressor and then the cleaning gun. Now, which compressor you purchase is gonna be dependent again on if you're mobile, like how big of a tank can you, or how big of a compressor can you carry, how strong is your generator, because a big thing of running an air compressor or any machine is what can your generator handle and how many things can you run at one time to get the job done. So, and there's so many options. We only have two. We have a DeWalt 16-gallon generator and then the California Air Tools air compressor, and each one for the cleaning gun is going to be at 90 psi. So it's very dependent on your budget, but again, don't look at what I'm buying. Buy something similar within your budget that's going to be good enough. But we are heavy users of the air compressor, and we use the air compressor more now than we do the steamer. And most of the things that we used to use the steamer for, the air compressor and the cleaning gun can take care of. So we are heavy users of the air compressor and cleaning gun. Number 4 and 5 is gonna be the drill gun and then the brush attachments. Now with the drill gun, it doesn't necessarily have to be battery powered, although I'd highly recommend it if you can, just because if you are mobile, you are no longer dependent on having the generator on or having a generator in general to be able to agitate the fabric surfaces. So that's why it's so flexible and convenient, because you can just use it wherever. Granted, you need batteries, and batteries can be expensive. So again, make it fit your situation. You can also use a polisher, and if you can purchase a carpet attachment and screw it on there, and then you can use your polisher as a carpet attachment. But again, this is an absolute staple in our system, to where when it comes to agitating cloth seats, fabric floor mats, the carpeting, we're going to use the drill gun. Now, if there's cloth material on the door panel, if it's thick enough, we'll use a drill gun. If it's not very thin or very gentle, then we'll go by hand. The headliner, we typically don't use the drill gun to agitate the headliner, but even for the rubber floor mats that's in the interior, we'll also use a different attachment to scrub that as well. And the few instances where the door panel is very bad, we'll also use the drill gun to agitate the plastic door panels, but that doesn't happen too often. For 6 and 7 is gonna be the chemicals, specifically for the carpet, and that's gonna be the carpet pre-spray and then the extractor rinse. Now there's plenty of brands out there. We specifically use the BioBreak and then the Flex Ice, but you basically, the carpet pre-spray is what you spray onto the carpet, you agitate it, and then the extractor rinse, what goes in the actual extractor once you're actually extracting the carpet. We use this every single time we're shampooing any any fabric surface. Number 8 and 9 is gonna be the extractor and then the extractor wand. Again, this one kind of falls into the, it depends what you really need, the price point, what all you need to purchase, what comes with the extractor, because we've used the Aqua Pro Vac, we've used the HP60 Spider, we have a PE 500, each one ranging from $475 all the way up to $3,000. And we've upgraded the Aqua Pro Vac to the, I think it's like the 25-foot hose, and we have the PE 500 on a 30-foot extension on a reel for our mobile van. So we have a lot of different setups, but the extractor, again, I'm not gonna name one specific one. It depends on your budget, how much you use it, the space that you have in your mobile unit. So that has to be something you figure out in terms of which one you're gonna purchase, because again, your budget might be $1,400, $600, $3,000. And then next is the wand. Now, typically most extractors are just gonna come with like a basic wand tool that everyone knows. For us specifically, we have three wands of 2 categories. Or 2 types. We have the sapphire upholstery tool. We have 2 of those, and that one allows us to keep the wand on the surface at all times, and we never have to lift it off the surface because it extracts both ways. And then we have your traditional wand that comes with the Mighty. Again, very dependent on what you're doing. I'm not gonna get into too detail about that, but you're gonna need an extractor and a wand. By the way, don't make the mistake that I made and think about buying all these tools and products if you don't even have customers yet. That's a big mistake I made when I first started off. And if you want a thorough training on how I started my business, the mistakes that I made, and then how it grew to $10,000 per month, you can click the link down below or go to detailclass.com and sign up for the free training, where I'll take you through the full process on just how we've grown our business. Number 10 is gonna be your steamer. Again, we've gone through a few steamers like the McCulloch 1385, the Aqua Pro steamer, the Vapor Clean steamer. Each one has its pros and cons, cheap, quality, whatever. Like each one is gonna have its own things. But like I said, we only now pull out the steamer, when we actually have to get like some very gummy, stuck on, dry crud that's on like a plastic surface or on the fabric material. Other than that, we're gonna use an all-purpose cleaner, our brushes, and then the cleaning gun. And again, like we have really reduced the amount of time we use our steamer, because 8 out of 10 times the air compressor and cleaning gun can get the job done. Now again, there's still a place for a steamer. There are still times where it's like, hey, it's just much easier to go get the steamer, heat it up, and let's use that. So I'm not saying that. But again, this really comes down to like, what do you need for your business at this given time based on what you can afford. Yes, you'd like to go, oh, absolutely I need a steamer. Oh, yep, I want the extractor. Oh, yep, I want that one. Oh, yep, I want a cordless drill. But the reality is, okay, if you're just getting started, what's really gonna increase your efficiency based on the budget that you have? And that might be just getting the drill gun and brushes. That might be getting a steamer. That might be getting air compressor. That might be getting a generator. It's gonna be dependent on your specific situation. Number 11, I kind of keep these the same. It's gonna be like an all-purpose cleaner. It's gonna be something like a rinseless wash that you can kind of use for the interior, and a dressing. So obviously an all-purpose cleaner is used for us to clean the leather, plastic, and vinyl. I want to say 10 out of 10 times we're gonna have it diluted at 10:1. Next is a rinseless wash. So this might be maybe to clean the door jambs, to clean the glass, to give the interior like a light wipe down. A quick detailer, rinseless, waterless, those will all fit that bill. And the next is a plastic rubber dressing. So to dress the plastic door panels, the leather seats, the whatever plastic rubber that's in there, we'll use it for that. Pretty straightforward. Number 12 is gonna be the brushes, and this is literally maybe like 4 things. There's gonna be something like a ninja scrub, a scrub ninja. It's gonna be 2 brushes from Detail Factory or from Work Stuff, and then maybe a toothbrush style brush. And that's basically it for the most part. We can clean all the plastic and leather surfaces with those few brushes. You don't need to overcomplicate it. Like that's literally it. It might be 4 brushes that you need. Hopefully I'm still on the right numbers. But number 13 is gonna be towels. Now these are gonna be multi-purpose towels. We buy in bulk from Kirkland or from Costco that sells the Kirkland brand, but we buy like 6 packets at a time. I think it costs like $300 to order that big old packet, but we get a bunch of towels, and like we literally don't have to worry about it for like a few months, more than that until we have to order another set. So that's our workaround. Again, you don't need any fancy towels for this one. They're meant to be workhorses. They're meant to get dirty. We're gonna wash them over and over. We're gonna use them till they're brittle because it's for the interior. It's for them to get dirty. Like there is, you know, this. It's not like a polishing towel or a, you know, when you're removing a wax or sealant that it has to be a fluffy, you know, high quality microfiber towel. Like this is a workhorse. It's gonna get dirty. Don't overthink it. Number 13 is gonna be an air mover. Now again, this is very dependent in the situation that you're in. For instance, here in Texas during summertime, you don't need an air mover because the sun and heat is gonna dry everything instantly. Now if you're in New York, Seattle, where there's a lot of overcast, it's always cold, or maybe it's your season right now is in winter time where there's no sun, there's no heat, an air mover will help you decrease the drying time so that when you give the customer the vehicle back to the customer, the seats, the carpet, the fabric surfaces aren't wet. So for us, when it's wintertime and the sun's not out, those play a big role in drying the fabric because obviously it's an air mover. Now there are a lot of, like, we always carry air movers in our mobile van because maybe it's like a quick in and out job and we don't want to give the vehicle back to the customer still kind of damp. So as soon as we're done with the driver's seat, we'll instantly put down the air mover. That way if we're gone in the next 30 minutes, by the time we're done, at least the driver's seat is already dry for the customer. Now we have 2 in our van and we have about 6 here at the shop. So again, very dependent on you. Start with 1, like that's all you need, just so you can see the benefit of it. And again, like if you find yourself in those situations where, man, like it'd be great to have 2 air movers, well then you can purchase it at that time. Specifically now that we do smoke odor removals at the shop, we need like 4 or 5 air movers to make sure the entire interior is completely dry before we go into the ozone treatment. But that's gonna be the full list right there. I'll have them linked down below. If you wanna know any specific information on any tool, let me know and perhaps I'll make a video on it in the future. Thank you very much and I'll talk to you on the next one.